My brothers and my sisters, listen to me. Are you ready? I say, are you ready? Today I stand before you with a message that is not small. It is not ordinary. It is not comfortable. It is a message that will shake your thinking, stretch your faith, and disturb your excuses. The message is simple. Think bigger, move faster. Look at your neighbor and say, think bigger. Now look at your other neighbor and say, move faster. You see, many people want a bigger life, but they are thinking small thoughts. Many people are praying for speed, but they are walking in fear. Many are asking for increase, but they are comfortable in delay. Let me tell you something, your life will never grow beyond the size of your thinking. If your thinking is small, your world will be small. If your vision is limited, your results will be limited. If you believe only what your eyes can see, you will never experience what faith can create. Think bigger. When you think bigger, you give God room to work. When you think small, you put limits on what heaven wants to do in your life. Some of you here today, your problem is not lack of opportunity, it is lack of imagination. You cannot see beyond your current situation. You cannot see beyond your salary. You cannot see beyond your village. You cannot see beyond your past. But I ask you, who told you that where you are is where you must remain? Who told you that because you started small, you must stay small? The seed is small, but the tree is big. The beginning is humble, but the future is glorious. Do not despise small beginnings, but never settle for small endings. Think bigger. You say, but I don't have resources. I say, you have a mind. You say, but I don't have connections. I say, you have faith. You say, but I failed before. I say, failure is information, not a final decision. The difference between those who rise and those who remain is not strength. It is mindset. A small mind sees obstacles. A big mind sees opportunities. A small mind complains. A big mind creates. A small mind waits for permission. A big mind moves with conviction. And this brings me to the second part of our message. Move faster. Listen carefully. Speed is not about rushing blindly. Speed is about obedience. Speed is about responding when opportunity knocks. Speed is about acting when others are still doubting. There are people who lost their breakthrough not because it was not meant for them, but because they moved too slowly. Opportunities are like doors that open quietly. If you hesitate too long, they close without announcement. How many dreams have died in the graveyard of delay? How many ideas have expired because you said, I will start tomorrow? Tomorrow is the most dangerous word in the dictionary of destiny. Tomorrow has killed more dreams than failure ever did. Move faster. When you receive an idea, act on it. When you see an opening, step into it. When you know what is right, do it immediately. Faith without action is empty. Vision without movement is frustration. Some of you are overthinking. You are analyzing, calculating, debating, waiting for perfect conditions. Let me tell you a secret. Perfect conditions do not exist. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you will wait forever. The eagle does not wait for the storm to end. It uses the storm to rise higher. The storm that scares others becomes the wind that lifts the eagle. So I ask you, are you a chicken hiding from the rain, or are you an eagle rising above the storm? Think bigger. Move faster. There is a generation that is tired of small thinking. There is a generation that refuses to move at the speed of fear. That generation is here. That generation is you. But hear me clearly, thinking bigger requires courage. When you begin to think bigger, people will call you unrealistic. They will say you are dreaming too much. They will remind you of your background. They will point to your past. But remember this, those who criticize your vision cannot see what you see, because the vision was not given to them. If everyone understands your dream, it is too small. If everyone agrees with your plan, it is too safe. Think bigger. Do not measure your potential by your present position. Measure it by your capacity to grow. The river does not apologize for flowing. The sun does not apologize for shining. Why should you apologize for wanting more? You were not created to shrink. You were created to expand. And when you think bigger, you begin to see differently. You start seeing solutions where others see problems. You start seeing lessons where others see losses. You start seeing doors where others see walls. But listen, thinking bigger without moving faster is frustration. And moving faster without thinking bigger is chaos. You need both. You need vision and velocity. You need direction and speed. You need clarity and courage. There are people who have big dreams but slow feet. There are people who run fast but in the wrong direction. Today we align both. Think bigger so your direction is clear. Move faster so your progress is visible. Let me speak to someone here who feels behind in life. You look at your age and you feel late. You look at your peers and you feel slow. You look at your bank account and you feel small. Listen to me, your timeline is not a competition. Your journey is not a race against others, but it is a race against your own potential. The only person you must outrun is yesterday's version of yourself. Move faster than your old habits. Move faster than your old fears. Move faster than your old excuses. You cannot think bigger while holding on to small beliefs. Some of you are still carrying the words spoken over you years ago. You are not good enough. You cannot succeed. People like you don't go far. Those words were lies then, and they are lies now. Break those limits. Your background may explain you, but it does not define you. Your past may inform you, but it does not imprison you. Think bigger than your pain. Move faster than your regret. Regret is heavy. It slows you down. It keeps you looking backward. But destiny is ahead, not behind. If you keep looking at what you lost, you will miss what is coming. Move faster. Some blessings respond to speed. Some doors open only for those who are prepared to act. Preparation is thinking bigger. Execution is moving faster. Many people prepare forever but never launch. Many people start but never sustain. Consistency is the bridge between thinking and moving. If you want extraordinary results, you must adopt extraordinary discipline. Wake up earlier, learn more, risk more. Try again, adjust quickly, improve daily. You cannot pray for growth and avoid stretching. Growth is uncomfortable. Expansion is painful. Speed requires energy. But remember, comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you are too comfortable, you are not growing. If you are too safe, you are not expanding. Step out. There is a version of you that the world has not seen yet. There is a capacity inside you that has not been activated yet. But it will not activate by wishful thinking. It will activate by bold action. Think bigger about your business. Think bigger about your family. Think bigger about your influence. Think bigger about your impact. You are not just here to survive. You are here to contribute. When you think bigger, your goals move beyond yourself. You begin to ask, how can I help more people? How can I solve bigger problems? How can I create more value? And when your thinking expands, your responsibility increases. Greatness is not about ego, it is about service. The bigger your thinking, the greater your responsibility. The faster you move, the more disciplined you must become. Let me say something that may challenge you. Laziness is expensive. Procrastination costs more than failure. Indecision drains more energy than hard work. If you know what you should do and you are not doing it, you are delaying your own destiny. Move faster. When clarity comes, act. When conviction rises, step forward. When opportunity appears, seize it. You will make mistakes. Yes, you will fall sometimes. Yes, but movement creates momentum. A moving car is easier to steer than a parked car. A moving life is easier to direct than a stagnant one. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Do not wait for applause. Do not wait for validation. You do not need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe in what has been placed inside you. Think bigger than your environment. Maybe you come from a place where nobody has done what you want to do. Good. Be the first. Maybe your family has a history of limitation. Good. Be the interruption. Maybe your story has been filled with struggle. Good. Struggle builds strength. But do not allow your environment to shrink your imagination. The sky is not the limit. Your thinking is the limit. Remove the limit and watch your life expand. Move faster than fear. Fear will always speak. Fear will always warn. Fear will always suggest caution. But courage is not the absence of fear. It is movement in spite of fear. If you wait until you feel completely confident, you will never start. Confidence grows after you move, not before. Action creates clarity. Motion produces confidence. Experience builds wisdom. So move. Some of you are one decision away from a new chapter, one call, one application, one conversation, one step, but you keep postponing it. Let today be the day you decide that delay is no longer an option. Let today be the day you decide that average is not acceptable. Let today be the day you refuse to shrink your dreams to fit your doubts. Think bigger, move faster. And as you do, remember this: speed without character is dangerous. As you rise, stay grounded. As you expand, stay humble. As you grow, stay grateful. Because true greatness is not just about how high you go, but how many you lift along the way. The world does not need more small thinkers. It does not need more slow movers. It needs visionaries with courage. It needs believers with discipline. It needs dreamers with determination. And I believe I am looking at such people right now. You are not here by accident. You are not hearing this message by coincidence. There is something inside you that is ready to break out. There is something inside you that is tired of playing small. There is something inside you that is hungry for more. Feed it with bigger thoughts. Activate it with faster action. Stand up in your spirit and declare, I will not shrink. I will not delay. I will not settle. My time is now. My season is now. My expansion is now. Think bigger. Move faster. And watch what happens when your mindset expands and your steps accelerate. The doors will open. The ideas will multiply. The confidence will grow. The results will speak. But it begins here. It begins in your mind. It begins in your decision. It begins in your movement. So as you leave this place today, do not leave the same way you came. Leave with a larger vision. Leave with a stronger determination. Leave with a faster pace. And when challenges come, and they will, do not shrink back. Remember who you are. Remember what you carry. Remember what you decided. Think bigger. Move faster. And let your life become the evidence that when a person expands their thinking and accelerates their action, nothing can hold them back. Are you ready? Then go. Think bigger, move faster, and never look back. My brothers and my sisters, listen carefully to me. There is a version of you that is outdated. There is a version of you that was necessary for survival, but it is no longer sufficient for success. There is a version of you that learned how to cope, how to endure, how to adjust, but now it is time to evolve. Outgrow your old self. Look at someone near you and say, I must outgrow my old self. The greatest limitation in your life is not your enemy. It is not your background. It is not your lack of resources. The greatest limitation is the person you have been. Growth demands separation. Every new level requires the death of an old mindset. You cannot become new while protecting what is old. You cannot rise while clinging to what kept you comfortable. Some of you are loyal to a version of yourself that no longer serves your future. You say, this is just how I am. But who told you that who you are must be who you remain? Who told you that your habits are permanent? Who told you that your weaknesses are your identity? Your past behavior is not your permanent character. Outgrow your old self. The old you reacted in anger. The new you responds with wisdom. The old you avoided responsibility. The new you embraces ownership. The old you feared criticism. The new you welcomes correction. Growth is uncomfortable because it confronts what you have normalized. It challenges what you have excused. It exposes what you have hidden. Many people want a new life, but they are unwilling to release their old patterns. They pray for elevation, but protect their excuses. They desire expansion, but defend their limitations. Let me tell you something powerful. The person who brought you this far may not be the person who will take you further. At one stage, your fear protected you. At one stage, your caution kept you safe. At one stage, your small thinking kept you from disappointment. But now those same traits are blocking your breakthrough. What once protected you is now restricting you. Outgrow your old self. There are habits you must outgrow. There are conversations you must outgrow. There are environments you must outgrow. There are mentalities you must outgrow. If you keep returning to the same behavior, you will keep reproducing the same results. Transformation is not a wish. It is a decision repeated daily. Some of you are waiting to feel different before you act different. But change does not begin with feelings. It begins with choice. You choose discipline before you feel motivated. You choose courage before you feel confident. You choose consistency before you see results. Your old self was built on survival. Your new self must be built on purpose. The old self asks, how do I avoid pain? The new self asks, how do I create impact? The old self blames circumstances. The new self builds solutions. The old self seeks approval. The new self seeks growth. Outgrowing yourself means confronting yourself. It means looking in the mirror and saying, I am responsible for my next level. Not your parents, not your critics, not your competitors, you. This is not condemnation. This is empowerment. Because if you are responsible, you are also capable. Your old self was shaped by your past experiences. Your new self must be shaped by intentional development. Read more, learn more, practice more, stretch more. Growth is not automatic. Aging is automatic. Growth is deliberate. There are people who grow older but never grow wiser. They repeat the same mistakes with greater confidence. They justify the same weaknesses with stronger excuses. Do not let that be you. Outgrow your old thinking. If you have always seen yourself as small, begin to see yourself as capable. If you have always doubted your voice, begin to use it. If you have always avoided risk, begin to take calculated steps forward. You cannot think like yesterday and live in tomorrow. The future requires a different mindset. Your old self was comfortable with average. Your new self must be allergic to mediocrity. Mediocrity is not peace. It is postponed potential. When you settle for less than your capacity, you create frustration within yourself. There is something inside you that knows you are capable of more. When you ignore that voice, you feel restless. That restlessness is not dissatisfaction. It is destiny calling you forward. Outgrow your old standards. Raise your expectations of yourself. Increase your discipline. Strengthen your boundaries. If you tolerated laziness before, stop tolerating it. If you tolerated negativity before, stop entertaining it. If you tolerated self-doubt before, confront it. The quality of your life will rise when the quality of your standards rises. Your old self avoided discomfort. Your new self understands that discomfort is the price of development. When you exercise, your muscles ache before they grow. When you learn, your mind struggles before it expands. When you lead, your character is tested before it strengthens. Pain is not always punishment. Sometimes pain is preparation. Outgrow your old emotional patterns. Some of you are still reacting to life from wounds that are years old. Someone hurt you and you built walls. Someone disappointed you and you stopped trusting. Someone rejected you and you stopped trying. But carrying old pain into new opportunities will sabotage your progress. Healing is not weakness. Healing is growth. If you do not outgrow your old pain, you will repeat it in different forms. Your old self said, I can't. Your new self says, I will learn. Your old self said, this is too hard, Dad. Your new self says, this will make me stronger. Your old self compared constantly. Your new self competes only with yesterday. Comparison steals focus. Growth demands focus. When you focus on others, you slow your own development. When you focus on your own improvement, you accelerate. Outgrow your old circle if necessary. Not everyone who started with you is meant to finish with you. Not everyone who understands your past will understand your future. If the people around you are committed to remaining the same, and you are committed to growth, tension will appear. Do not confuse discomfort with betrayal. Sometimes distance is development. Your old self needed validation. Your new self needs vision. Vision will guide you when applause is absent. Vision will strengthen you when support is limited. Outgrowing yourself also means upgrading your discipline. Discipline is not punishment, it is self-respect. When you wake up early to work on your goals, you are respecting your potential. When you refuse distractions, you are protecting your future. When you stay consistent, you are honoring your vision. Your old self lived by mood. Your new self must live by commitment. Moods change, commitment remains. If you allow your emotions to lead your life, you will live inconsistently. But if you allow your values to lead your life, you will live intentionally. Outgrow your excuses. Excuses are comfortable lies we tell ourselves to avoid responsibility. I don't have time. I'm not ready. It's too risky. It's too late. These statements may sound reasonable, but they are often shields protecting fear. Every successful person had reasons to quit. They simply decided their reasons to continue were stronger. You must decide the same. Your old self avoided failure at all costs. Your new self understands that failure is feedback. Failure teaches what success hides. When something does not work, it does not define you. It informs you. It shows you what to adjust. It reveals where to improve. If you fear failure so much that you never try, you guarantee stagnation. Outgrow your fear of looking foolish. Every beginner looks inexperienced. Every learner looks uncertain. Every pioneer looks unusual. But those who are willing to look foolish for a season often look extraordinary later. Your old self sought security. Your new self must seek growth. Security without growth becomes a cage. Growth without security requires courage. Courage is not loud. It is quiet determination repeated daily. Outgrow your old identity. You are not the shy one. You are not the weak one. You are not the unlucky one. You are not the forgotten one. These labels were given to you in moments of immaturity or misunderstanding. You have the authority to redefine yourself. Identity shapes behavior. If you see yourself as limited, you will act limited. If you see yourself as capable, you will act accordingly. Change your self-image, and your actions will follow. Outgrowing yourself also means forgiving yourself. Some of you are stuck because you cannot release your past mistakes. You replay them in your mind. You punish yourself with regret. But regret is useful only if it produces wisdom. Beyond that, it becomes self-sabotage. You are allowed to evolve. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to improve. Your old self may have made poor decisions. Your new self can make better ones. Do not chain your future to your past. Outgrow your old limitations. If you have always believed that success is for others, challenge that belief. If you have always believed that you are average, challenge that assumption. Beliefs are powerful. They operate silently, but direct your behavior consistently. Upgrade your beliefs, and you upgrade your life. Your old self survives storms. Your new self must learn to navigate them. Survival keeps you alive. Navigation moves you forward. There is a higher version of you waiting to be activated. That version is more disciplined, more focused, more courageous, more patient. But it will not appear automatically. It must be developed intentionally. Daily decisions build identity. What you do repeatedly becomes who you are consistently. If you repeat procrastination, you become unreliable. If you repeat discipline, you become dependable. If you repeat courage, you become bold. Outgrow your old daily patterns. Change your routine, and you change your trajectory. Wake up with purpose. Plan with intention. Review with honesty. Ask yourself regularly, who am I becoming? Not just what am I achieving, but who am I becoming? Because success without growth of character is fragile. Outgrowing yourself is not a one-time event. It is a continuous process. Every new level will demand another upgrade. Just when you become comfortable with your progress, another challenge will appear. Another standard will rise. Another opportunity will require more from you. Do not resist it. Welcome the pressure. Pressure reveals potential. Pressure exposes weakness so it can be strengthened. If you refuse to outgrow your old self, life will outgrow you. Opportunities will pass you. Responsibilities will overwhelm you. Progress will bypass you. But if you choose growth, if you choose evolution, if you choose development, you will step into rooms you once feared, handle responsibilities you once avoided, achieve goals you once doubted. Outgrow your old conversations. Speak differently about yourself. Speak differently about your future. Speak differently about your possibilities. Words shape perception. Perception shapes action. If you constantly declare limitation, you reinforce it. If you declare growth, you align your mind with expansion. Outgrow your old reactions to criticism. Instead of becoming defensive, become reflective. Instead of shutting down, evaluate. There is wisdom hidden even in harsh words. Not all criticism is accurate, but some of it is instructional. Outgrow your old relationship with time. Stop wasting hours on distractions that do not build your future. Time is not just passing, it is investing. Every day you invest in growth compounds. The difference between where you are and where you want to be is the version of you that must emerge. That version requires discipline. That version requires courage. That version requires consistency. Outgrow your old self because your destiny demands a stronger character, a sharper mind, a braver heart. Your old self was preparation. Your new self is progression. Your old self was foundation. Your new self was elevation. Your old self did what it could with what it knew. Your new self must do more with what it is learning. Expansion is calling you. Development is waiting for you. Evolution is necessary for you. Outgrow your old self